All right, what is up, everyone? Inori back at it again with another jungle tier list. This one's going to be patch 2508, the current patch we're on for the 2025 season. I'm going to go over everything you need to know for jungle, and also I've made 3 tier lists to make it real simple for you. This one we're looking at is your all-around average jungle tier list. The next one I'm going to show you is going to be the lower, actually this is the higher ranked tier list we're going to go over later on in the video. And lastly, we're going to have is this tier list, which is going to be the low rank tier list that we're going to go over after the average rank one. So right away, let's go over the average tier list. This is pretty much emerald average. It can go towards plat. It can go towards diamond, the lower end of masters. This is what I call like average ELO. So what do we have? S plus category. We have Gwen jungle, even after all the nerfs. I consider her the best AP jungler on average. She's just really strong right now. In Emerald and, Plaid, this kind of division, she's out, performing extremely well. She's really strong, and it's really hard to beat her. They're going to have to nerf her again because her stats are just looking very, very OP in middle and higher ranks right now. Next, we have Hecarim. Hecarim is also one of those champs where I think he's excelling extremely hard in middle to, actually, middle rank is where he excels most. Hecarim is like the Emerald Smurf god. Every time I see Hecarim and Emerald, they're just smurfing and they're 1v9ing. So it's really disgusting how strong he is in middle rank. I'm sure if you play around this ELO, you probably see it all the time. And he is an absolute problem. I do think he might need a nerf, especially with boots getting cheaper next patch. We'll have to see with that. Right now, he's really, really OP. Neferi comes right back after all the nerfs she's received. Players have gotten much more comfortable on her. And also, her untargetability is very much a problem in the jungle. Personally, if I was in balanced team right now, how I would fix Neferi is actually lower her W untargetability from 1 second to 0.5 seconds, so she still has that kind of effect, and you also have more time to kind of go on her. But right now, she's extremely OP. Watch my Neferi videos if you want to know how to play her, and she's just a really performing jungler. Next, we have Volibear. Volibear, personally for me, very broken right now. I have a new build coming out next, probably after this video, a Volibear jungle and this really broken build that's really strong on him. And no matter which build you go, Cosmic Drive, Roa, my new build, it's really broken and he's actually performing really well. I recommend you start playing him because I think he's going to be a really good champion to have in your kit. He's extremely good in the meta. Jungle meta, what is it? Full clear objectives, full clear objectives. These champions, what do they do really well? Well, they full clear and they play really well around objectives. So it's a really powerful thing, especially in, the middle rank ELO that we are. Next, we have the S tier category. So S tier, I will say Viego is just really broken. I don't know why they just let him be OP every patch. It's really disappointing because I think he deserves to be nerfed. But it's fine because Viego is Viego. So Viego is very strong. Pretty much in every tier list he's there. And he's a very powerful champion. So you got to watch out for him. Next, Elise. In average to higher ranks, she is very broken. So this is like a higher pick. So if you have her, she's a really strong champion. Very good with that. Nocturne. Very OP in almost every category. He's just very strong champion right now. A great champion to pick up and really good around the clear. Nunu as well is looking really good. He's really good, frontline. He can also go into like the AP hybrid build, which is a very powerful tool. Kayn is actually really overtuned. In my opinion, I didn't know it, but when I was looking at a lot of stats for lower rank, Kayn is just really broken in like every bracket. I don't know if it's red Kayn carrying blue Kayn, but overall, Kayn is just a very, very strong champion right now. Also, Jin Zhao is a very strong champion right now. If you were to have him in your kit, he will be very good for your champion pool. Talon is a mid laner who's better at jungle than he is mid lane right now. He really needs either a rework or, more nerfs to his jungle clear speed because he shouldn't be able to clear so quickly, and he also shouldn't be so strong in jungle. Jarvan, he's really good, really solid after the buffs. I think he's a really good engaged jungler. In middle rank is where he shines the most. He is a really solid champion. Vi as well. Vi is really broken right now. I wouldn't be surprised if she'll have to get nerfed in the future. She's really too good in solo queue, and I really think she's a very big problem for a lot of champions. Next, we're going to go over some individual champions. A tier category are just really solid champions. Zed jungle, I think a lot of people are really bad at Zed, but I do think because of how quick his clear is, he's actually very strong if you know how to play him. Overall, though, a lot of people are bad at him, but I still think he's like a solid A-rank champion. Kai'Sa jungle, I didn't give up on her. I still think she's extremely good. I think she's 100% A-tier champion. You have to be good on Kai'Sa to make it work, but I do believe that Kai'Sa is very strong. Yorick jungle is still relatively overtuned. I think lower ranks is, you'll see my tier list. He's really broken. And I think Yorick is just a really good champion. Brand, I kind of overestimated because I kind of rushed my first tier list. But Brand Jungle is in a solid B or A state. His clear is really good, but you have to know how to clear at him. I felt like it was really easy for me to full clear really quickly, and I had a lot of success with him, but I see a lot of people aren't really that good at him, and they don't know how to like maximize his clear by getting the AoE explosions at level 2. So if you don't know how to do that, you're not going to do well on him because you have to do that to clear fast on him. So I think he would be on average a B tier category because of that kind of thing. The rest of the champions, you know, B tier is okay, A tier is alright. We're just going to go over S tier champions in this tier list, and I'm going to move on to the lower ranked tier list, which is this one. So this one, as you can see, I just made it real simple, real short. This is for lower ranks. So I would say gold and below this rank. This is probably going to apply to you. It's just a really solid tier for that. And what's surprising is actually some of the champions who are outliners. For example, Kayn is very dominant in lower ranks. He's a very strong champion. He seems tricky, but really he's just outstat checks you because of red Kayn. Don't get me wrong, it's not blue, it's red. Red Kayn is absolute menace in lower ranks. Heal and sustain is a problem, and that's where he gets to shine the most. And you can see Nefiri is still a really powerful low rank champion. So lower ranks, Nefiri is a great pickup. The classic Nocturne Diana that I always recommend to you is still the best in lower ranks. So you should still continue playing Nocturne and Diana. They're just a really good combo. If I was to give you a trio list, I'll tell you guys in the short video what it will be. And Viego, somehow in lower ranks, he's still broken. Honestly, is so shocking. It just shows you how overtuned this champion is for him to be broken in literally every ELO. It's insane. But yeah, next we have S rank. So Volibear is still really strong in lower ranks, and I really recommend him more and more. I would say Volibear and Yorick Jungle are absolutely really good in lower ranks. Yorick especially, he might get some weird changes in the future, so I wouldn't recommend one-tricking him yet, but he's a great champion if you want to pick something and play for jungle. Amumu, always a really solid champion lower ranks. I always talk about it. You know, Amumu is Amumu. He is, you know, the best lower rank champion in some situations. Right now he's on the weaker side, but he's still a really good pick. Warwick is just a bit overtuned. His healing, his sustain, he honestly is surprisingly doing really well in the higher ranks too. So I could imagine him getting nerfed, but so far nothing. Really stat checky champion. This meta is all about stat checking, so he's performing really well. Lily is actually surprising, but I do see her angle. She is also a bit of a stat checker. People probably don't play her well in lower ranks, but because of her passive and the healing effect, so she's able to kind of stat check a lot of people. A tier category. So A tier champions. Right away, Xin Zhao, he's really solid, honestly. If you were to play, you know, Xin Zhao would be beautiful in whatever, you know, champion pool you have. So I'd always say, throw in a Xin Zhao here, you're going to be doing well. Master Yi, you know, low stomper still. He's feels like more stompy now, lower ranks, as people itemize a bit more greedy with some crit like Collector as well. Overall, though, I mean, it's just Master Yi things, right? Dr. Munder is just a straightforward tanky champion. He does go through phases where they nerf him pretty hard, where you're not going to be able to win on him, but currently in the current iteration, he's a very strong, powerful champion to play in lower ranks. Briar, always a solid one. She's on the weaker side. I do have a new Briar build coming out, so I'm going to show you guys in the new video. But I think Briar is in a really solid position in general in lower ranks. So you're not going to go wrong by one-tricking her. And I think if you one-trick her, you're going to climb really fast in low rank. Vi's harder to pull off in lower ranks, but she still is quite consistent. Her ultimate is a point-and-click ability, really powerful. And she's just a really good champion in general. To play her really well, you have to have her higher ranks. The higher ranks people are really able to perform well, but on lower ranks, she's still an okay pick. B tier categories are generally just, you know, they're decent. These were the ones that were you know, outshining other champs in my opinion. And lower rank, there's a lot of negative win rate champs. These ones aren't negative. These are solid picks. Everything here would be good in a lower ranked champion pool. Kha'Zix, though, hard to pull off, but surprisingly, his damage is really good. Even if you suck on Kha'Zix, his win rate seems to be really good in lower ranks, but he is the hardest one out of all these to really pull off. Jarvan, his EQs can be tricky for lower ranks players, but overall, if you get better at it, you can actually pull it off. Gwen, even though she's like an S+ category in every other, you know, rank, lower rank, they can't pull her off as well, but she's still really good because of how strong she is. So Gwen is still a really good champion. Monkey is actually really good. He's a stat checking, he has a lot of crowd control, and he has a lot of damage. So Wukong, super good lower ranks as well. Shyvana, very solid, surprisingly. I think she's also one of those champions that are very simple, right? Like if you go AD, Tanky, Shyvana, she performs really well. You just have to right click people and you kind of just beat them out of it. So this was my lower rank tier list. Let me show you my last one. This is the higher rank category. So this will be for the highest rank category, right? So this is like Masters up. In my opinion, this is the best champions in Masters. And right away, let's go over SPS category. Gwen performs extremely broken in high elo with the Hecarim, still very strong. Diego shows up yet again. Nunu also performs quite well high ELO. If you're able to utilize his power, his gank pressure, and his objective control, he's surprisingly performing really well. Taliyah jungle is really broken in higher ranks. I wonder if it's because more people are likely to play AD mids with Taliyah. And also a lot of times you play Taliyah with something like a Pantheon support or someone mid lane who can like help you CC people. But overall, she's a really solid, strong AP jungler. If you want to play her in the higher ranks, she's really strong. And S tier categories, you have like the Kindred, the Vi. Kindred is more on the counter pick side, but Vi is just really broken. Like I think Vi 100% should be getting nerfed because even in higher ranks, as you can see, the trio of every rank, Vi is really good. She is just too easy for how strong she is. Graves is a bit of a different case. He's not as strong, but in higher ranks due to one tricks, due to like the climate of the higher rank games, he's able to kind of get away with more farming and more greediness. Graves is performing really well in that regards, and Volibear still performing extremely well. I would recommend Volibear high ranks as well. The build super strong, super good, and very powerful. The rest of the S tier categories are just really good picks. You can see in higher ranks. A tier category, there are a lot of one tricks in it. Nocturne doesn't perform as well in higher rank, but he's still really good. And overall, any of these picks can be good. Anyone I've shown you in this category is really a decent pick in high elo. B tier, you see some weaker champions, but these champions are still really good, right? I've only put like champs that I think are good in the tier list. And you can see even Rek'sai, even though she's really bad right now, she's still a really strong champion, especially at higher ranks. That's probably going to be it for now. I'm going to be trying videos like this with more like 3 tier lists for each rank division that you want to play in. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next jungle tier list video.